Good evening, bonsoir. Bienvenue à la réunion spéciale du 11 de mars. On va y aller à l'adoption de l'agenda. Madame Parker.
Que l'ordre du jour soit approuvé comme présenté.
Parfait. Est-ce que je peux avoir quelqu'un pour proposer? Conseiller Branch, appuyé par conseiller Willett. Voilà la question. Tu t'en fais signifier en disant oui? Oui. Contre? Adopté. Ms. Parker, do we have any declaration of conflict of interest?
There were no conflicts of interest declared.
Okay, we'll go to draft resolution, weight restriction, spring 2024.
Whereas the Motor Vehicle Act empowers a municipality to impose weight restrictions on the highways under their jurisdiction, and whereas the administration has reviewed a plan and makes recommendations for the designation of the 2024 weight restrictions, now therefore be it resolved that Council designates the following weight restrictions effective March 11, 2024 until further notice. 1. On all streets in the City of Bathurst, except those exempted in Item 2, vehicles may operate with each axle weight not exceeding 80% of the maximum axle weight for which the particular vehicle may be operated in the province of New Brunswick, provided that each axle weight does not exceed that upon which the registered weight is based. 2. That the following streets are exempt from these restrictions and are subjected to the conditions below. A. No spring weight restrictions. All streets located within the Bathurst Industrial Park, Route 134, Miramichi Avenue from the junction of Route 11 to Bridge Street, Route 134, Bridge Street from Miramichi Avenue to Murray Avenue, Route 134, Murray Avenue from Bridge Street to Main Street, Route 134, Main Street to St. Peter Avenue via Harborview Boulevard North, Route 134, St. Peter Avenue to Main/King via Harborview South to Murray Avenue, St. Peter Avenue to City Limits Beresford, Route 180, Vanier Boulevard from St. Peter Avenue to Route 11, Route 430, King Avenue from the junction of Route 11 to Dumaresque Street and Dumaresque Street from King Avenue to Murray Avenue, St. Anne Street, Route 11 to Evangeline Street, Route 315, Sunset Drive from Vanier Boulevard to Browns Bridge, Route 315, Sunset from Civic Address 2000 to City Limits, Karen Drive from Bridge Street to Sutherland Avenue. In summary, the truck route through the city is now 100% of axle weight without any tolerances over such weight. B. Restricted to 90% of maximum licensed axle weight, Cape Road, Bridge Street from city limits to Miramichi Avenue. 3. Passenger buses and City of the Bathurst vehicles must be exempted from the above restrictions.
All right, so I'll go get a mover. Councillor Honda, seconded by Councillor LeBlanc. Are we ready? Before we go to the question, actually, sorry, I'm going to go to Mr. Pettigrew.
Thank you, Worship. This is an annual weight restriction we put in. This year was quick. We had a quick turnaround, so it's effective today. So the signs have all been installed, and so once council passes the resolution, will be enforceable by law enforcement or by commercial vehicle enforcement.
All right. Do we have any questions for Mr. Pettigrew? No. Okay. So we'll go to the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. 3.2 Housing Accelerator Fund Contribution Agreement. Ms. Parker.
That council members approve the agreement between the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, CMHC, and the City of Bathurst, and that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to sign all related documents on behalf of the city.
All right, I'll need a mover. Councillor Knowles, seconded by Councillor Branch. Mr. Pettigrew?
Thank you, Worship. I'll ask Mr. Legacy, our Economic Development Manager, to give a quick summary if he wants to on it's great news to announce that he can kind of give a quick good news announcement.
Make it official.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So this is great news for the city. We received a contribution of $3 million over the next 3 years. We're committed to having 96 incremental housing units permitted in those 3 years for a total of 160 permitted units over that time period. We have an action plan that we've committed to that we will be working through, and we aim to have that completed by the end of March of next year. So in the coming months, we'll start bringing forward some of the action items to council for adoption, a lot of which has to do with improving our bylaws and policies to improve or accelerate the development process. So that'd be good. And then that also includes the development of the new incentive policy for housing development. So we'll have periodic reporting to do through CMHC, and the funding is conditional on us achieving our action plan by March of next year, and then the final 25% of that contribution is based on us attaining or achieving our objective on permitted housing units.
All right. Do we have any questions? No? Okay, we'll go to the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. On va aller à la levée de la séance. Madame Parker.
That the special public meeting be adjourned at 6:35 p.m.
Parfait. J'ai besoin de quelqu'un pour proposer. Conseiller Branch, appuyé par conseiller Lagacé. Tout ça en faveur signifiant en disant oui. Oui. Contre. Motion adoptée. On va sauter. On va attendre quelques secondes pour que Mme Parker se prépare, mais on va sauter à la réunion plénière, Committee of the Whole. Avisez-moi quand vous êtes prêts. Je peux vous dépêcher. Good. All right. Welcome to the Committee of the Whole, le 11 mars. Ms. Parker, do we have any declaration of conflict of interest?
There were no conflicts of interest declared.
Perfect. So we have two presentations. 2.1, 25-year service medal to Lieutenant Luc Dugas.
So Mr. Luc Dugas is being presented tonight with the 25-year Federal Service Medal from the City of Bathurst. Mr. Dugas joined the City of Bathurst Fire Department as a volunteer in January 1999. In May 2000, he was hired as a temporary firefighter and as a full-time firefighter in May 2002. Mr. Dugas is the coordinator for the Fire Department Rescue Squad since 2016. He was promoted to lieutenant in November 2021.
All right. I'll ask Mr. Dugas to please come up. S'il vous plaît, si vous pouvez venir en avant. Ça vous dérange qu'on prenne une photo? Non? OK. Allez. Passe un petit peu. OK, là. I am so... Now you really know, and I'm really... Il y a des talons au monde de... Oui. J'en ai un Est-ce que le Conseil voudrait venir en avant aussi quand je suis provisoire? It's really important. 25 years. Félicitations. Bravo.
Thank you.
Same thing, we're gonna angle this way because we get a major glare from the shield, that's why.
Okay.
Okay, so, this side, move on in
Yep.
towards me. In,
You got my back? Okay.
in. There. Same thing, same thing. There we go. Okay, here, Stephen, just back up a bit towards Jean-Luc. Jean-François is good. Okay, That's good.
We're all here.
I'll grab a couple here. That is black. And one and two. We're good. Thank you. Oh.
Can't get too comfortable to get back up again. No. Yes, get the tea. I'll get it.
Oh.
Yeah, no, let them get the tea. No, we're going to get out of the way. our next item is we actually have a retirement. On a un employé avec nous qui a choisi de se retirer, Mr. Jimmy Gray. Ms. Parker?
So during the last 12 years, Jimmy Gray has been employed as a sub-foreman in the Utilities Department for Water and Sewer with the City of Bathurst. Prior to this, he has held the role of Water and Wastewater Treatment Plant Operator. During his time with the City of Bathurst, he has held many other different positions, such as store clerk in the stockroom, refuse truck driver, heavy equipment operator, and jet rotor operator. He has also worked at the Parks and Recreation Tourism Department at the KCI and the Old Bathurst Arena.
All right, so I'll ask Mr. Gray to please come up. Congratulations and happy retirement.
I'm good, perfect.
And can council come up?
Thank you.
Years of commitment. Enjoy your retirement. Well deserved.
Thank you for your service.
Same deal as a while ago, angle towards the site, please.
I didn't know the requirement for the
Come on in, here you go. Carol, just a tad. Then follow suit, there you go. Don't move. And 1, 2. And the last one. Thank you. That's it.
Thanks, Jimmy.
Congratulations.
The first photo shoot.
What we should have added is that Mr. Gray has been full-time 35 years and 42 with the City of Bathurst, 42 years. Bravo. Happy retirement. On s'en va à 2.3, Collège communautaire du Nouveau-Brunswick. On a une petite présentation de M. Pierre Zundel. Monsieur Zundel, je vous donne le micro. Merci d'être avec nous ce soir.
Alors, merci beaucoup. Est-ce que vous m'entendez?
Oui.
Oui?
T'entends-tu bien? Oui.
OK. Donc, merci beaucoup pour l'invitation, l'opportunité de vous présenter aujourd'hui. Le Collège a des plans très ambitieux pour ses opérations ici à Bathurst. Et ces plans-là vont seulement être possibles si on les fait en collaboration étroite avec la ville de Bathurst. Et je dois vous avouer que j'ai été surpris de la décision qui a été prise dans une réunion récente par rapport à un projet de logement étudiant qui était planifié pour la rue Riverside. Surpris et déçu. Et c'est suite à la nouvelle que j'ai eue de ça que je me suis dit, il faut absolument que je vienne rencontrer le Conseil. Puis je vais commencer par vous dire, pas pour commencer un argument à ce sujet-là. Je sais que vous avez besoin de prendre toutes sortes d'informations, puis arriver à vos décisions, puis ces décisions-là vous appartiennent. Mais moi, je voulais m'assurer que vous aviez toutes les informations nécessaires pour comprendre l'importance du dossier du logement dans les plans qu'on propose, et aussi que vous ayez l'occasion d'entendre, en fait, c'est quoi les plans qu'on a pour ce qui se passe ici à la ville. Donc, je vais vous parler finalement de quelques items. La première, je vais vous parler un peu de l'apport du CCNB dans la région, dans la ville de Bathurst et dans la région. Je veux également vous parler du projet de renouvellement du campus de Bathurst. Puis à la fin de ça, je veux vous expliquer quel est le lien entre ce projet-là et la question du logement étudiant, parce que c'est peut-être pas évident. Oups, pardon. Donc, je vais commencer par vous parler un peu de l'apport économique du collège ici à Bathurst. Je pense que vous savez peut-être ou peut-être pas, mais on a 277 employés à notre campus de Bathurst ici, sur nos 2 sites, qui gagnent à peu près 18,5 millions de dollars par année de salaire qu'ils dépensent dans la région. On a un budget opérationnel d'à peu près 3,4 millions, c'est-à-dire on dépense sur des égouts, sur toutes sortes d'autres éléments ici pour opérer notre campus à Bathurst. On achète de l'ordre de 630 000 $ par année d'équipements et d'autres matériels pour notre collège. Et simplement les déplacements de nos employés dans les autres campus qui viennent au siège social qui se situe ici à Bathurst se chiffre à 130 000 $ par année. Donc, il y a un apport vraiment important et le CCNB est un moteur économique dans la région. Je pense que c'est aussi important de comprendre quels sont les apports non seulement de nos opérations et de nos employés, mais également de nos étudiantes et nos étudiants pendant leurs études, dans les 1, 2 ou 3 années qu'ils passent avec nous ici. Donc, on a aujourd'hui 457 étudiants internationaux au campus de Bathurst et 226 étudiants canadiens. Alors, ça vous donne un peu l'apport. Ça veut dire qu'on a près de 700 étudiants qui sont ici. En moyenne, chaque étudiant international va dépenser entre 15 et 22 000 $ par année pendant leurs études. Donc, les 457 étudiants internationaux dépensent dans notre communauté pour le logement, pour les repas, pour l'essence, pour toutes les choses que les personnes ont besoin de dépenser pour vivre. Mais également, ils travaillent dans les établissements de la région et je suis vraiment heureux qu'on a avec nous ce soir M. Hervé Mallette, qui est le propriétaire du Saint-Hubert. Ceux qui ont été au Saint-Hubert récemment vont voir nos étudiants du CCNB travailler en arrière dans la cuisine. Il est un des grands employeurs de nos étudiants dans la région. On est très reconnaissant pour sa contribution à nos étudiants. En plus, ce qui est important de comprendre, c'est que les étudiants internationaux nous permettent de maintenir une offre de programme pour les étudiants canadiens. Statistique intéressante, à peu près 60 des 35 programmes qui sont offerts ici à Bathurst ont au moins 2 tiers de leurs étudiants qui sont des étudiants internationaux. Donc, il y a un grand nombre des programmes qu'on offre à Bathurst qui ne seraient pas rentables et pas faisables si on n'avait pas nos étudiants internationaux ici. Et ça veut dire que ça affecterait beaucoup l'offre de programmes chez nous. En plus, je pense que il y a certains d'entre vous qui étaient ici quand on affichait les drapeaux de tous les pays d'où venaient nos étudiants et nos immigrants dans la région. Les gens étaient vraiment fiers de voir la diversité qu'on attirait dans la région à l'aide du collège. Également, en plus des contributions de nos étudiants pendant leurs études, on a la contribution de nos anciens et de nos anciennes dans la région. Au Nouveau-Brunswick, actuellement, il y a 27 000 personnes qui sont des diplômés CCNB, qui travaillent. Ils génèrent à peu près 3,7 milliards de dollars par année de produits intérieurs bruts et aident à maintenir à peu près 41 000 autres emplois pendant qu'ils sont là. En plus, je ne sais pas si vous le savez, mais dans les écoles, je parle de les écoles françaises de la région de Bathurst, nos étudiants internationaux, les nouveaux arrivants, les travailleurs temporaires, ont occasionné des augmentations importantes des effectifs élèves dans l'école. Donc, les dernières données que j'ai, c'est qu'on a passé de 16 élèves en 2022, 26 en 2023 et 46 cette année. avec la présence des étudiants internationaux et de leurs familles et les diplômés dans la région, on voit, au lieu d'avoir des écoles en danger, on parle plutôt ces jours-ci de vouloir faire des expansions et des constructions de nouvelles écoles. J'aimerais maintenant vous parler un peu de notre projet de renouvellement pour le campus de Bathurst. Donc, ici à Bathurst, on opère à peu près un demi-million de pieds carrés sur les deux sites, le site de la rue du Collège, le site original du Collège, et le site de la promenade U-Hall. À la rue du Collège, l'édifice principal date de plus de 100 ans. À U-Hall, ça date de plus de 60 ans. Ce sont des édifices qui ont un besoin d'entretien énorme. Entre les deux, on parle de au-dessus de 70 millions de dollars de réparation simplement pour apporter les édifices au code du bâtiment aujourd'hui. Donc, quand on a fait ces études-là, quand on a appris le besoin qu'on a dans la région, on a décidé qu'il fallait peut-être penser au lieu de réparer des vieux édifices et d'avoir à la fin des vieux édifices conçus dans les années 60 ou au début du 20e siècle, de peut-être penser à qu'est-ce qu'on doit bâtir pour l'avenir. Et pour l'avenir, ce dont on a besoin, ce qu'on nous a dit, ce qu'on a entendu, c'est qu'on a besoin d'avoir plus de monde et on a besoin également d'appuyer l'innovation parce que la technologie change très rapidement. Le Nouveau-Brunswick, en fait, n'a pas une très bonne performance comparée à la région maritime, qui n'a pas une très bonne performance comparée au reste du Canada dans son intégration de la technologie. Et donc, notre projet pour le renouvellement du campus bâtit sur les besoins de main-d'œuvre et le besoin d'innovation. Donc, j'aimerais vous parler un peu en quoi consiste finalement ce projet-là. Donc, la première chose, c'est notre intention, c'est de fermer le site de la promenade U-Hall et de bâtir un nouvel édifice sur le site de la rue du Collège, où on a 40 acres de terrain, pour remplacer avec un édifice moderne, des ateliers, des laboratoires modernes dans la région, au site de la rue du Collège. Et tantôt, j'ai parlé de l'apport économique. Je n'ai probablement pas besoin de vous parler beaucoup des implications sur l'économie régionale de la chaîne d'approvisionnement pour des bâtiments de 100 millions de dollars. Donc, on est en mesure de fournir tous les métiers et beaucoup du travail et du matériel pour ces sites-là avec des impacts très importants. Peut-être certains d'entre vous seront conscients du fait qu'à la promenade U-Hall, on a un des meilleurs sites et laboratoires de technologie, de recherche appliquée dans ce qu'on appelle CCNB Innov, où on fait principalement du travail dans la fabrication de pointe. La robotique, l'intelligence artificielle, la vision artificielle, tout ce qui est la manufacture moderne, le soudage robotisé, etc. Et notre vision, c'est de créer dans le nouvel édifice de 100 millions sur la rue du Collège, de mettre au centre de ça notre laboratoire de recherche appliquée pour que tous les étudiants dans les métiers, dans les technologies, dans l'informatique, dans tous les domaines, puissent être impliqués avec les projets de recherche appliquée qui se font par CCNB Innov. On fait chaque année entre 50 et 75 projets avec des compagnies privées, des PME principalement, et on veut impliquer les étudiants dans ce travail-là. En plus, on veut créer une vitrine technologique, c'est-à-dire en pensant aux industries dans la région, comme on a l'industrie de fabrication d'acier pour les édifices industriels, je pense des compagnies comme MQM, par exemple, et d'avoir sur notre site une vitrine qui leur permet de voir en action des nouvelles technologies qui vont leur servir dans leur métier. Et nous, on entraîne nos étudiants sur ces nouvelles technologies-là. Les industries les implantent et ils ont un personnel qui est déjà prêt pour appuyer les compagnies dans leur intégration de ce projet-là. En plus, non seulement on veut bâtir un nouvel édifice d'à peu près 100 millions, mais on va faire des rénovations majeures à l'édifice principal, l'édifice des pères eudistes, pour le rendre plus fonctionnel, pour s'assurer qu'il y ait toutes les fonctionnalités nécessaires, combinées avec l'autre édifice, le nouvel édifice qu'on va bâtir, qu'ensemble, on va avoir vraiment la capacité d'accueillir nos étudiants, leur donner une excellente formation. Et dans un moment, je vais vous parler un peu de l'expansion que ça va nous permettre de faire au niveau des effectifs. En plus, on protège un édifice patrimonial. Donc, l'édifice des pères eudistes est préservé, a une nouvelle vie et nous permet d'accueillir les étudiants. Et vous savez qu'on a eu l'annonce en décembre dernier par la ministre, l'ancienne ministre d'Éducation postsecondaire d'un octroi de 3,5 millions pour que durant l'exercice fiscal qui commence dans 2 semaines, on puisse faire les dessins techniques et les devis pour être capable de faire la conception de ça. Ça, c'est la prochaine phase de planification. Et tout ça, le nouveau campus avec le nouvel édifice et les rénovations et d'autres éléments que je vais vous parler dans un moment, va s'appeler le Centre d'innovation et de formation du Nouveau-Brunswick. Donc, on va renommer notre campus à ce niveau-là. Je vous ai parlé du besoin de faire une expansion de la main-d'œuvre dans la région. Le ministère de l'Éducation postsecondaire, formation et travail a fait des prévisions au niveau du nombre de postes qui doivent être comblés au Nouveau-Brunswick d'ici 2032. On parle d'à peu près 133 000 postes. De ces postes-là, à peu près 54 peuvent être remplis par des jeunes du Nouveau-Brunswick. 46 vont devoir être remplis par des personnes qui vont venir d'ailleurs, soit des personnes qui ne sont pas actives sur le marché du travail, des personnes qui sont dans d'autres provinces ou, et probablement principalement, des personnes qui ne sont pas aujourd'hui au Nouveau-Brunswick ou au Canada, c'est-à-dire des étudiants internationaux ou des immigrants qui vont venir remplir ces postes-là. Puis ça, je voulais vous le montrer parce que c'est fondamental à nos plans d'expansion dans la région. Il n'y a pas d'expansion qui est possible sur la démographie des gens du Nouveau-Brunswick. On est à 226 étudiants canadiens. On ne peut pas augmenter à 500 ou à 750 ou à 1000 étudiants canadiens à Bathurst, ce n'est pas possible. La démographie ne nous le permet pas. Si on veut avoir une expansion de la main-d'œuvre, elle passe par l'immigration, elle passe par nos étudiants internationaux. Donc, notre plan avec le nouveau campus, c'est de passer d'à peu près 700 étudiants, qui est la situation aujourd'hui, à 1000 étudiants. D'ajouter un autre 300 personnes dans les secteurs névralgiques avec tout l'apport économique que ça peut amener à la ville. Premièrement, par le fait que ces étudiants-là vont pouvoir travailler une fois qu'ils sortent, vont être capables d'aller dans les entreprises, mais également, chacune de ces personnes-là vont manger, vont être logées, vont dépenser dans la région. L'autre élément que je veux vous mentionner, puis ça, pour moi, c'est vraiment excitant pour la ville, c'est l'idée qu'au lieu de penser à la rue du Collège, puis qu'est-ce qui se passe là comme étant un édifice du CCNB, nous, ce qu'on voit, c'est l'équivalent d'un campus, comme pour ceux qui ont été à Fredericton, le campus de UNB sur la colline à Fredericton, où on a, oui, des édifices de l'université, mais on a également un centre sportif récréatif qui est communautaire. On a d'autres partenaires, des incubateurs, des accélérateurs d'entreprises, des résidences multigénérationnelles. Alors, c'est ça que nous, on envisage, ça auquel on rêve pour l'avenir de Bathurst, c'est qu'on ait un campus postsecondaire communautaire qui vient attirer les gens et fournir l'ensemble des services pour l'innovation, la formation des gens. Donc, si vous voulez, ça, c'est la grande vision pour qu'est-ce qu'on veut qui se passe ici à Bathurst, sur notre site, à la rue du Collège. Alors, où on est rendu dans ce projet-là? Il y a finalement 3 phases, si vous voulez, à ce projet-là. La première, c'était la préparation des esquisses et devis. Ça commence dans une couple de semaines avec l'octroi d'un contrat pour les architectes qui vont faire ce travail-là. Après ça, après ça et durant ça, on est dans la phase de mobilisation. Donc, c'est un campus qui va coûter 150 millions de dollars. On a 3,5 millions de dollars nécessaires pour faire la phase de préparation. Pour être capable de faire le reste, le 147 millions de plus qu'on a besoin, grosso modo, pour bâtir le campus, la question que les ministres fédéraux et provinciaux vont nous poser, c'est « Avez-vous l'appui de vos communautés? » Et quand on a rencontré 3 ministres provinciaux, ils sont venus visiter le site à U-Haul, leur question c'était quel est l'appui communautaire, quel est l'appui des entreprises et des citoyens de la région. Et donc, éventuellement, il va falloir qu'on démontre, durant la phase de mobilisation, l'appui communautaire. Ça passe en partie par une campagne financière qu'on va monter auprès de nos anciens avec les entreprises de la région. Ça vient aussi avec un travail étroit avec la Ville pour créer les conditions où on peut appuyer et établir un projet de ce genre-là dans la région. Donc, je sais qu'un de nos ministres a parlé do we have the social license to build this here? Autrement, est-ce que ça va être accueilli favorablement? Est-ce que les conditions sont propices pour la mise en place? Donc, je voulais vous parler de ça parce qu'il y a un lien là-dedans. Finalement, il y a des éléments qu'on a besoin pour l'appui communautaire. J'ai parlé de la campagne financière. L'autre chose, c'est qu'il faut savoir que si on a 1000 étudiants et le double du nombre de personnel sur le site de la rue du Collège, il y a des implications au niveau de l'infrastructure routière dans la région, aussi de l'infrastructure égouts, eau, etc., qui a des incidences sur ce que la Ville fait. Mais il y a également une question d'accueil communautaire. Donc, si on a 600 ou 700 personnes provenant de l'international qui ne nous ressemblent pas toutes, il va falloir les accueillir comme il faut. Il va falloir qu'ils se sentent bien chez nous pour qu'ils décident de rester. Donc, on va avoir besoin d'apprendre ensemble comment vivre ensemble et toute la question d'échange culturel et de préparation pour ça. Puis on sait que dans les autres régions du Nouveau-Brunswick qui ont eu beaucoup d'immigration, là où ça a été un succès, ça a été là où il y a un projet de société qui fait en sorte qu'on crée l'accueil, qu'on crée les conditions nécessaires pour que les gens viennent et se sentent respectés, qu'ils peuvent s'intégrer dans la communauté. La dernière composante, évidemment, et celle sur laquelle je veux éventuellement terminer, parler un petit peu plus, c'est la question du logement. Parce que je peux vous dire que l'été dernier, on aurait pu prendre 200 étudiants de plus ici, mais on ne l'a pas fait parce qu'on jugeait qu'on n'avait pas le logement pour les accueillir. Donc, à long terme, si on est pour avoir des plans d'expansion et réaliser nos projets dans la région, une des choses qu'il va falloir faire, c'est être capable de loger les gens. Et je vais vous parler un peu de notre stratégie de logement. Donc, il y a 3 phases pour nous au niveau du logement. La première, c'est de créer des ententes de cogestion avec des propriétaires de logements. Et cette année, on a fait un projet pilote à travers la province où on avait, avec une 40aine de propriétaires, une 100aine de logements où on était en cogestion. Puis cogestion, ça veut essentiellement dire, nous, on trouve l'étudiant pour aller dans le logement, on va collecter les loyers, on va les payer aux propriétaires d'avance, on va former les étudiants sur comment être des bons locataires, on va former les propriétaires sur comment travailler avec des étudiants internationaux, on va faire des visites de sites pour s'assurer que les logements sont propres, sécuritaires, bien entretenus. On va faire des visites pour s'assurer que les étudiants respectent. Et pour les étudiants internationaux, il y a toutes sortes de choses à apprendre. Comment faire fonctionner une laveuse canadienne, c'est quoi la relation qu'on a besoin d'avoir avec nos colocataires, etc. Donc, ça, c'est l'entente de cogestion avec des propriétaires de logements existants. La deuxième phase, c'est d'encourager la conversion d'édifices existants, c'est-à-dire d'édifices qui ne sont pas aujourd'hui du logement, les convertir à du logement pour augmenter le stock de logements. Et le projet à 495 Riverside, c'était un des projets de la deuxième phase qui veut augmenter le logement pour, entre autres, réduire la pression sur le parc de logements actuel. Et on continue, on va devoir créer beaucoup de logements pour être capable d'héberger tous nos étudiants à l'avenir, pour deux raisons. Un, on va en avoir plus des étudiants chaque année, mais également, si on connaît un succès, ces gens-là vont vouloir rester à Bathurst et travailler ici. Et donc, ils ne vont pas tous quitter leur logement. Et donc, il va falloir créer assez de logements pour une croissance de la population de la ville. La troisième composante de notre stratégie, c'est la construction de résidences étudiantes. Donc, sur le site de la rue du Collège, notre plan, c'est lorsqu'on bâtit le nouvel édifice qui va remplacer celui à la promenade U-Hall, de construire une résidence étudiante qui va nous permettre d'héberger des gens sur le site. Mais je crois que c'est important aussi pour vous de comprendre que dans ma connaissance partout au Canada, les institutions postsecondaires ne vont jamais construire plus qu'à peu près le quart du logement nécessaire pour leurs étudiants. Ils vont dépendre de 2 tiers à 3 quarts, on va dire, du logement commercial dans la région pour héberger leurs étudiants. Pourquoi? Parce que les étudiants, c'est tous des adultes. Ils ne veulent pas tous rester en résidence tout le temps. Il y a des gens qui viennent avec des familles. Il y a des gens qui veulent vivre en groupe de 3 ou 4 ensemble dans un appartement. Il y en a d'autres qui veulent vivre autrement. Donc, le logement commercial permet la diversité de logements nécessaires pour répondre aux besoins des étudiants. Donc, à Bathurst, c'est la même chose. On va avoir des ententes de cogestion. On va travailler avec des entrepreneurs pour pour transformer des édifices actuels en logements. Et on va bâtir du logement sur notre campus. Mais ces 3 affaires-là doivent être ensemble pour que ça marche. Et c'est une des raisons pourquoi je voulais m'assurer de vous rencontrer ce soir, pour que vous compreniez l'importance de créer un environnement où les propriétaires et les développeurs vont dire on peut venir à Bathurst, puis on peut bâtir du logement pour répondre à un besoin important dans la région avec l'appui du Conseil. C'est primordial si on est pour être capable de mettre en œuvre cette stratégie-là. C'est impossible pour nous de construire tout le logement dont on a besoin. Ça ne se fait jamais. C'est toujours un rapport 2 pour 1, 3 pour 1. Logement commercial et logement fourni par l'institution. Alors, ma dernière chose, c'est de vous dire, on a des gros plans dans la région. Je pense que ces plans-là sont vraiment excitants. Il y a des belles possibilités pour la région de Bathurst, pour la région Chaleur, mais on a vraiment besoin de travailler ensemble pour être capable de les réaliser. C'est un projet de société que ça va prendre. Donc, Mme la mairesse, je m'arrête là-dessus. I'd be very happy to take questions in English or French, whichever you prefer, if there are any questions.
Merci, Mme la mairesse, et surtout un gros merci à M. Zinda. Une très belle présentation. Écoute, depuis que je vis ici, ça fait 26 ans, j'ai élevé ma famille ici, depuis que ma famille est tout jeune, mes enfants, en tout cas, je rêve de voir Bathurst comme le hub du Nord. Aujourd'hui, la présentation que vous avez faite, merci pour les explications. Ça, c'est beaucoup plus clair aussi, j'espère pour tout le monde. Mais c'est une direction vers le rêve que j'ai toujours entretenu. Et puis, ça s'éclaircit, on voit la lumière au bout du tunnel, on voit la possibilité pour notre région. Fait que, moi, j'ai pas de questions, j'ai surtout un merci pour les explications et votre vision, que d'ailleurs, je supporte. Et souhaitons que ça va se réaliser. Et puis qu'on va démontrer à toute la province qu'à Bathurst, on est en avant-plan et on est avant-gardiste. Et on va vous aider à réaliser ce rêve que vous avez vous aussi.
Merci.
Merci.
Merci, Mme la mairesse. Merci beaucoup pour votre présentation, M. Zanda. C'est le fun de voir que le travail a déjà commencé. Comme je me suis promené à l'entour du collège la semaine passée, puis ils étaient en train de driller, en train de tester le terrain. Ça fait que c'est vraiment bon. J'espère que nos nouveaux arrêtés qui vont venir avec avec les nouveaux octrois du gouvernement, que ça va aider à modifier et à aider à raccourcir les changements qu'on a besoin de faire. Puis aussi que les gens regardent la présentation puis voient exactement qu'est-ce qui se passe. Avec, le monde m'a payé 22 000 piastres par année pour venir étudier. Ils viennent pas ici pour faire des parties, ils viennent ici pour étudier puis pour enrichir leur savoir-faire. Ça. Puis si on est chanceux, bien, au moins la moitié d'eux autres vont rester. Ça.
Oui, puis en fait, si je peux me permettre, 92 de nos étudiants internationaux veulent rester. S'ils peuvent se trouver un emploi permanent et se loger et être accueillis, ils vont rester. Donc, les chances sont très, très bonnes. On a déjà à peu près entre 50 et 60 des étudiants qui restent.
Merci beaucoup.
Thanks, Madam Mayor. Thanks for your presentation. I appreciate it. Maybe a little bit late for number 2 that we talked about. Maybe that could have come beforehand because the connection to the community college was not clear to all the residents that lived in that whole area. And it started off very negative as a rooming house rather than a house for students. And it just went from there. It's too bad. But that's what happened, and the residents spoke loud and clear, and council supported them. However, the taxpayer of Bathurst has put lots of money in to ensure that the community college is successful. I remember in one of my terms that St. Anne Street was a 2-lane street with no access to the highway, and the community college was off of St. Anne Street, which made it very difficult to get to. And at the time, there was a couple of stores that wanted to come in, and we used that as a lever, and the community college and the schools that are on that street were the other lever, and we made St. Anne Street 3 lanes wide to the tune of, I think, $7 million. That was at that time that we spent that much money to widen and redo that street. Then the province of New Brunswick came on board to the tune, I think, of $14 million, and they put in the lanes access coming in from the main highway, because they saw the importance of the community college and its future here, and they saw the importance of St. Anne Street for the economic development of our city. But now, I think we need further collaboration together in order to get the province on board, because I hear or I see some articles every now and then where the province won't contribute monies for lodging, but unless you're a university. Is that true? The community college don't qualify?
That's correct. Under the current provincial arrangement for housing, community colleges, which are crown corporations, don't qualify. However, private sector and NGO sector partners can qualify and work with us on projects. So that's a possibility.
So who would we have to lobby? Like, we're going to Fredericton next week to lobby on certain things, for example, the mayor and a couple of councillors. Who would we have to lobby in order to get them to realize that we don't have a university in our city, but we do have 2 campuses for a community college, and we need help with lodging?
Yeah, I think you're going to find a ready. Jill Green is the housing minister, or she was the last time I looked. So, she's one person that you could talk to. But I don't think we've got to convince the provincial government very hard about the need for increased affordable housing for students, or about an investment in community colleges. They already understand the need, and I had that diagram up there earlier about 133,000 jobs that we need to fill by 2032. 40% of those jobs require a college diploma or certificate in order to do. The province knows that very well, and so they know that it's almost double the number of jobs that need a university education. So I think we have a receptive moment right now. I will say that when the news came out about the decision on student housing on Riverside, that I got a call from one of the deputy ministers and said, "What is going on?" So they also are reading those signals, And I think it would be helpful if we want to do student housing, for the city to be very clear in its support and the conditions under which it's going to provide support for those kinds of things, because that also sent a signal which is problematic, right? So I think when you go next week, you actually may get some questions about that on the housing file.
I look forward to that. And the other thing is, you say we got to be welcoming. Well, it didn't seem welcoming with our project to the residents that live in that area. So how can we improve that? That's something we have to work at. The other group that we have, Madam Mayor, can I go on?
Keep going.
Thank you. The other group I think we have to work with is the railway, the CN and that crowd, because that underpass is not very good for people walking and driving through together. And I tried at one time to get CN to put a tunnel through on the left-hand side so that students could walk through. The cost of that was unbelievable because of the weight of the trains and everything on top. But it's not impossible, because we live in a mining area, and what they've done underground here for years, they can do right there in short order to get something through for those students to be a lot safer when they're coming down to get their groceries or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
So I think we need to work with CN also in order to get them there. Now, your new school on the hill, will it have all the courses that you have down in your hall?
Absolutely.
It will, actually.
More, in fact, I'm hoping.
Yeah. I was an industrial arts teacher, and I just could not believe the equipment that you have at that campus and what you can teach. It's really futuristic. And I was hoping that you would say, yes, we're going to keep everything, all the courses plus, because...
And one of the key features of the new campus is instead of having, as it is now, everything in a cinder block box. Like if you go to our U-Haul campus, every discipline basically is in a cinder block box. And we want the new campus to be reconfigurable, because what's important today is not necessarily what's going to be important in 20 years. So we need to be able to shift the size of labs and workshops, bring in new equipment, move old equipment out. All of that is extremely difficult in the U-Haul site, but in the new site it will be designed to be able to be flexible.
Because your students from that U-Haul site have won awards around the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they've been in competitions because of the type of courses that you have, and I'm glad you're going to keep them.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's really important so Bathurst is the central hub of our trades and technology training. So we've got a lot of, Dieppe is more on business, Campbellton's got a little more health, and we are mostly trades, technologies, IT, and those kinds of things. So, we want to keep that strength here and add that innovation, technological innovation piece that I mentioned earlier, because that's another thing. It's no longer, you need not only to be able to work with the technology you have today, but you need to learn to implement new technology. So that's a skill set that we want to develop in that new site.
And as well, our mayor has worked with the federal government through Mr. Cormier to bring some funds in here last week for infrastructure development. And hopefully we can get more of that brought in so that we can help you with the infrastructure necessary for the homes, for the housing that you need for the new community college. My last comment. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
So if I may, just one quick response to that. So my experience with universities and colleges where they establish, they become a kind of magnet for other investment that comes in. And if you look at UNB, for example, think of the Knowledge Park at the top of the hill, think about the expansion that's gone on the campus. So you're able to leverage money from the federal and provincial governments and research organizations and so on. So there's a real opportunity here by signaling the support for that project and in working together, like the future, then we just keep growing and keep building.
Thanks for your presentation.
Right.
Thanks, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Knowles?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thanks for your presentation. Very informative. I learned a lot tonight already. Couple of questions. The temporary reduction in foreign students, how long is that going to last? 2 years, how will that affect the campus in the short term?
So I wish I had a better answer to that. So it's 2 years. What we know is that the temporary cap is 2 years. We fought like devils in holy water for the last 2 months on this issue, and we got a pretty good allocation from the province of places, And, you know, it's interesting, this government has said that it's really focused on priority occupations and the trades and IT and health and so on. And they recognize that CCNB is a major contributor to that. So that factored into the allocation that we got. So I think that's going to help us to temper the impacts for this campus in the short term. In the long term, you know, to the extent that we are meeting the needs of the industry and of other employers in the region, then we have a really great base to get continued support from the province.
The trades aspect of the Yahal campus in particular is very important. We all know there's a chronic shortage of trades. It just didn't happen the last 10 years. It's going to get worse.
Yep.
So that's very important to focus on that. What percentage of your students work in the trades?
Oh gosh, I don't have that number
Just
right
approximately.
here. I think we're something on this campus, something like a third or 40%.
Okay.
That would be my guess. I can come back to you and provide you the
I
specific
took my
numbers.
block release program 1981 to 1985 at the Yahal campus. I don't want to date myself, but maybe I just did. But no, it's a great campus down there. It is, has been for a long time.
Yeah.
Thanks for your presentation. I wish you would have been able to present maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, but
I wish it too. You know, this was like if I had had any inkling of the kinds of questions that there would be, you know, would have been very happy to. But anyway, better late than never. I'm hoping we can salvage that project, and I'm hoping we can find a way to move ahead on other projects, because there are going to be a number of them of the scale that was proposed the last time that will need to be in place if we're going to be able to house all of the students that we expect to come.
okay, thanks again.
I'll continue in English. Mr. Zindel, the average age group for students, I was told, is around 26 years old,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So, and a lot of them are coming in, the ones that have student housing, we could eliminate the housing for people that come in with their families and their kids go to daycare or school. So it's 26 years old. And I do want to remind that on many occasions when we were talking about 495 Riverside, we kept staying student housing. Nobody said a slum house. Student housing, student housing, student housing. So in your phase 3 here with residents, that will not happen next year. That will not happen in 3 years from now. There's a lot more work before you get to the student residents, right?
Yeah, so my expectation is that we would build a student residence so that it's ready when we are ready to transfer students from the U-Haul campus onto the Cull Street campus.
So meanwhile, we need student housing now.
Yeah, we need, and as I said, there's two things going on, right? One is you've got students who are coming in every year who need to be housed while they're here. And then if everything goes right, some proportion of them, hopefully like 2/3 of them or more, will say, I want to take a job with this company, I want to take a job with that outfit here, and we'll stay. So we will need to house those people as well as the new students who are coming in. And I think this is not unique to the college. I mean, I think, you know, we're working closely with Vitalité, the health network. They have the same issue. They're trying to bring new people in, right? And that also will create some housing needs. So in some ways, you know, there's some fantastic opportunities for Bathurst. None of them are going to come to pass if we don't get a handle on the housing issue.
I totally agree. Merci beaucoup de votre présentation. Merci d'être avec nous.
Ça me fait plaisir.
On va aller à un projet d'un navire fantôme par Joël Robichaud. Monsieur Robichaud, vous avez le micro.
Bonsoir tout le monde. Good evening. I'm here to present this the Phantom Ship project. I'll start with a script and then we can talk some more about it. Tonight we're unveiling the exciting tourism initiative for our cities and the Shirley region. The proposed addition involves introducing a phantom ship by the city's waterfront along the Causeway Park Pier. This unique vessel will be proudly owned by our city. Manned and animated by a lively crew of pirates, the ship aims to provide wholesome entertainment without serving alcohol making it an ideal destination for our family and children. The project will integrate into our existing tourism offerings, contemplating attractions such as the beach, waterfront, trail system, and local restaurants. Funding for this initiative will be sourced by a combination of fundraising efforts, support from tourism and federal contributions, and our city's allocation. The strategic timing aligns perfectly with the ongoing presence of Cruise Bathurst, an established local enterprise that can efficiently manage and operate the ship. This collaborative vision is proposed by Dr. Michel Blanchette, Joël Robichaud, Louis Robichaud. Together, we are excited about the potential this project has for our community and its appeal for our residents and tourism. I've got this other section here, but I'm not going to read the script. What we're aiming to do here is create a landmark. Just like Louis brought this to me, and he's right. For example, the lobster in Shediac. The lobster has been there for 34 years. It's been a landmark. Everybody's been there. Everybody's been taking pictures. Everybody detours to see that lobster. It's simple, but it's there, and nobody else will have a lobster. It's Shediac. They have the lobster. Well, the Phantom Ship could be ours. It could be our landmark. Nakawik has the Big Axe. They even name a brewery after the Big Axe. I think for the City of Bathurst, having something like that for a legend that everybody knows about will be a great addition to our waterfront. What we're planning to do with this is have it on land and have a crew. So not every day of the week, but on the weekends, this could be animated by actors telling the tale of the Phantom Ship. During the week and any other day of the week, this could be open to public with picnic tables. People can go there, eat, take pictures. It will be an attraction for families, driving tourism. Yeah, that's what we have for presentation. This was more of a preliminary presentation. I didn't have a long. That's it.
It's okay. All right. Do we have any questions? All right. Councillor Hondas?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Mr. Robichaud. When I first got elected in 2016, we had made steps in order to try to get this done, and it just kind of fell in the water. I would love to see this happen. I think we would be known for, as Campbellton has their salmon, like you said, Shediac has their lobster. The Phantom Ship belongs in the Schiller region, and Bathurst is a blessed place to have it. So I would support this project at 110%. I think it's needed. I think it'd be a great thing for our history, the Micmac people. Pabno, I see that they're represented here today. So I think we need to go ahead with this some way, shape, or form, and hopefully the city can see it, benefits to it, and we can get this going finally. So,
thank you.
All right. Any other question, Councillor Burnett?
Thanks, Madam Mayor. How far along are you with the obtaining of a vessel and
like I said, this
the site?
We found a ship. We have got an idea on the site, and we're like I said, this is more of a preliminary presentation, I would say. We can definitely work on some more details and add. I can send the budget, like the budget forecast for this project, and also the exact location. I can send all the information required for this project, but this is more on the idea stage.
Okay. I like the idea, like Councillor Hondas, very much, and hopefully it will move ahead. At one time, somebody presented to us to have a laser light show to go with it, and the laser light show would be like the fire.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier. We could put on some lights, and you put the light, and from far it looks like it's on fire.
Okay, yeah, it would be a nice idea. Thank you.
Councillor LeBlanc?
Thank you. Just a couple of questions. So right now you don't have a budget. You don't.
Well, we've got an idea of a budget, but like I said, I don't have anything on paper.
So you don't. So who do you have any idea? Like, what's the plan? Like, who would take care of this? Who would build it? Who would, all those things? There's nothing of that created yet, or?
Yes, well, the ship, we're gonna take a used ship and modify it. We can't really buy a pirate ship. But we've got our eyes on a ship or two that we could potentially modify. We have some people to build it. We were thinking somewhere around $50,000 for renovations. We're gonna try to do some fundraisings for this. And once it's built and paid for, we will gift it to the city. And will be your stone.
So the upkeep and stuff, that would be the city's responsibility. Yeah, now, has the current council and our neighbors, I mean, obviously there's a deep and dark history with the Phantom ship. I don't know if you're aware. Do we have the approval of all our neighbors in Pabineau? Has it been discussed?
Excuse me,
Il t'a pas compris.
J'ai pas compris.
Non, je dis comme ça, je sais pas si tu es au courant, mais tu sais, comme il y a une histoire un peu disgracieuse envers nos amis amérindiens. Puis je me demandais juste si nos voisins, s'ils sont au courant et si le conseil là est d'accord et a été présenté avec ça ici.
I think there would be a question maybe geared towards David. If you don't mind.
Right now, David is doing as a citizen in this project. He's joined us to help us create the project and he's talking for himself. He's not talking for the Papineau First Nation. What we established this afternoon.
We can't hear him, so nobody can hear what's being said. C'est soit que vous venez au micro, parce que là, c'est ça, on est sur Facebook Live. Si vous voulez avancer aussi, if you want to move forward.
Mr. David Petitpaul is with us this afternoon. We discuss the past, the historical you're talking about there. And what we're going to create with this ship, it would be something that we can fix the past, come up with a new ship, with a new story. Nobody never touched that ship. Nobody even saw it there. You know what I mean? It'd be a different story today because everybody's got their phone, everybody got the communication to take that picture. But the story behind this is clear. We will make sure we respect the First Nation, the Francophone, the Anglophone, everybody. The story is one ship, and the animation we will produce on that will reflect a good future for all of us. You know what I mean? And I believe if we come up with a plan before, because like he said, this is just the preliminary. On est juste en train de faire la première étape. Si vous acceptez, on peut prendre les démarches futures puis aller de l'avant, tout en proposant que ça soit clair pour tout le monde ce qu'on veut faire. Tu comprends? Je pense...
C'est justement ça, c'est que tout de suite, il n'y a rien de clair. Moi,
c'est ça.
Pour moi, personnellement, je dirais, avant de passer à l'étape de nous demander l'approbation de rien, s'il vous plaît, nous emmener un projet, ayez le partenariat avec nos voisins et un projet clair. Et là, ça sera beaucoup plus facile, évidemment, pour nous de dire oui ou non.
Juste un exemple, pour le financement, il faut qu'on passe par une association. Un exemple est Richelieu ou la Chambre de commerce, pour faire le financement. Puis si on n'a pas un appui du Conseil, ben c'est dur d'aller les voir pour avoir l'appui de leur groupe pour nous aider à faire le financement puis à aller de l'avant avec le projet. Il faut que ça soit fait conjointement, là, que vous compreniez un petit peu l'idée, que ça soit clair ce qu'on veut faire. On va faire de quoi être propre. On va faire quelque chose de beau qui va refléter toute la ville. Tout le monde va bénéficier de ça. Puis on ne veut pas laisser personne en arrière. Personne. On a parlé tantôt du projet de CCNB. Aujourd'hui, Gémara avec moi. Ça fait 3 ans, il y avait nous autres. Travail à Bathurst. Je pense que c'est un bel exemple de ce qu'on veut faire. Faire participer tout le monde. On va changer l'histoire. C'est sûr qu'il n'y avait pas des gens de l'Afrique à l'époque, mais on va probablement en mettre. Pour faire sûr qu'on inclut tout le monde. Tout le monde. Puis les Premières Nations, ce qu'on a expliqué à David, lui est d'accord pour ça. Il trouve que l'idée est bonne. On va manipuler un petit peu l'histoire, puis on va la changer pour qu'elle soit acceptée par toute la population. Puis là, tout de suite, ce qu'on vous demande, c'est que vous appuyez le projet, que nous, là, comme là, on va passer devant le Richelieu, ben, le Richelieu attend votre response to this project. How do you going to respond to this? Do you think we got a shot? Or, no, maybe Louis, we're not ready yet there. We're not there yet. But if you guys are all ready, and if you all want this, we move to the next step. And trust me, you won't be disappointed there. Our city will shine and will look very good for the First Nation, for the French, Anglophone, plus our friends from across the ocean. So that's all I have to say, and I'll leave it to Joel. Joel is he's in the city for the last year, and when I talked to him about this project, he said, Louis, this is what we need. And the reason why I push him in the front, because I want to get the next generation ready. You know what I mean? One day, you guys going to retire. We're going to need a new generation. And Joel is the perfect candidate for us, for our future. So I'll get him to finish it. Thanks.
Louis. So that pretty much concludes the presentation of the
So
project.
We do have another question, if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Councillor Legacy?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. So I'm, just like Councillor LeBlanc, I'm a little confused. What exactly is the ask today?
The ask is for location. We will need to put this somewhere across the pier part, and we will need permits and licenses to basically put the ship there. Because we will, like I said, we will try to fund this ourselves with fundraisings, and once it's complete, it will be gifted to the city, and then we will ask your permission to put it on the city's land.
So you're asking for the land, you're not asking for funds to create the project, but you are asking for funds afterwards
No,
with the
because I was
maintenance?
told that we're going to try and do fundraising, but I was told that's not possible through the city.
I understand, but you're asking, once the financing is complete and you're able to complete your project, you're asking for the land, and then by gifting it to the city, we're responsible for the maintenance, and you don't have any idea what those costs would look like. And also, you're saying about having actors doing tours and whatnot, would that fall on you guys, or would that come back to the city? We're responsible for that as well.
The upkeep we can probably do. We can organize everything. We will take care of finding all logistics, everything logistics around it, we will take care of.
I would recommend, as Councillor LeBlanc mentioned, to speak with our partners over at Pabineau, have their approval on this, because it is a dark story to this, and unlike an axe or a lobster, there's no negative connotations to those, and there's a lot that can be perceived from this.
I understand.
So I would for sure do that, crunch some numbers, and have a developed plan, and then I'd like to see that brought back after that.
Sure, understood. Thank you.
Right. Councillor Willett, you're good? Okay. So here's the thing, is that I'm looking for a direction from council. I know this is preliminary, and I know that, you know, that they're coming up with this idea. So is council, do you want the direction that maybe they meet with, I'm looking at our operations manager for the KCI, Ryan Wilbur, maybe try to sit down with, you know, to figure out how can this be done. I know that Louis and I had a great conversation, and where he's looking at putting a boat, we may not be able to. So let's look at the logistics. Would council be okay with that, that they meet with some of our city staff, try to work the logistics? For us, how it works is that our budget for 2024 was voted on in December.
Right.
So every dime that we have is already,
Spent.
well, not spent, but
Allocated.
allocated. So it's allocated. So this is something that would have to probably fall into 2025.
Right.
And of course, I mean, if a group of committee is good enough to want to build something, and all you're asking in return is that we do the, tender loving care to it, I think that's a pretty good deal, right? But before we go there, how about if we work the logistics to see is there a possibility where it could be done? How is that boat that you're looking at? Is that big enough? How can you go do the fundraising?
Yes. My intentions weren't to just throw this idea and not have any. When we presented for cruise,
Yeah.
I had more of a presentation, a more complete presentation. But even with that, there was a lot of back and forth with Ryan, and we found the information as we went until it was ready to go. And the same for this project. Any questions you have, we will make a list and answer all those questions.
Okay, so council is okay with that? Yes. Okay, perfect. We'll make sure that we get the connection going.
Awesome.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you very much.
Have a good night.
Municipal bylaws, 1945 Miramichi Avenue. Monsieur Bouffard, je vous donne la parole.
Merci beaucoup. So tonight I'm here to initiate a rezoning process before the committee of the whole. We'll come back at the end with the proposed calendar. So we did receive a rezoning request from Black & McDonald Limited for a property at 1945 Miramichi Avenue. So this is the old Nissan dealership on Miramichi. So the request as submitted by Black & McDonald is to renovate the existing Nissan building for new Black & McDonald and Power Precision office and workshop. And so they are requesting the rezoning of the dealership as follows. Black & McDonald would like to move to have both Black & McDonald and Power Precision under the same roof. The new location will allow for more opportunity to grow and to add new service and keep work in the region. Existing building offer a good floor plan with minimum modification for us to move in and will allow us to do more work here instead of sending out to our Dartmouth shop. So these two companies are already located in Bathurst, Black McDonald on Miramichi Avenue, the former Mario Metal, and Power Precision in the Industrial Park. So, sorry. So the land, the subject land, subject to the rezoning is, again, it's the old Nissan dealership. There are two parcels. The big one is in the triangular shape is 4.3 acres. And also they did acquire in 91, the Nissan, or the owner at that time, there was a parcel ad of 75 feet wide. So altogether, the two parcels, we are almost have 5 acres of land with about 1,055 feet of frontage on Miramichi Avenue. But it's not all the land that will be rezoned for this project. So, as you remember, sorry, merci. So as you may recall, the property was occupied by Nissan dealership until last year at the end of 2023 when they moved at their new location. The building is 60 by 200 more or less, so it's about 12,000 square foot. The building before was a typical dealership with a showroom, storage, garage, bay, etc. The site is asphalt and covered with gravel, but also there's a significant portion of land that's still grass. So on the plan, the third one in green, you see the area that are still covered by grass, and you see the area covered by asphalt and gravel. This narrow strip of land between Armour and the dealership was occupied by an impound lot, parking, sheds, and many containers that were used by Nissan for storage. And of course, Miramichi Avenue is fully serviced. So, the surrounding properties. So, the frontage is on Miramichi. It's a main artery in East Bathurst. It connects to Route 11. The site is located north of the Bathurst Industrial Park. There are 5 properties, if you can see on the map, across the dotted line. The dotted line is the subject property, but across the street, we have a few houses, 5 dwelling, and 1 engineering office, so 1 commercial building. To the southeast, we have the armored transportation. It's an industrial use. It may be zoned commercial, but for us, armored transportation is an industrial use. And further down, you have auto parts, a highway commercial business, and the other land up to the interchange are still vacant. There is also an industrial use located at the corner of Miramichi Avenue and Brideau Street, Acadia Drywall. And to the north, we have a subdivision, Brideau subdivision, and there are 13 lots that have a direct, that do abut the subject property. So this is the description of the surrounding area of the proposed project. Under the municipal plan, the land is designated commercial. In the plan, there are many policy statements that deal with commercial and industrial designation. But in order to realize this project, the municipal plan, the designation of the plan must be changed from commercial to industrial. So on the right, you have a section of the actual municipal plan of Bathurst, where you see to the south in gray the land that is zoned industrial, and also the land, the intersection of Brideau is also Acadia, also zoned industrial, and in red you have land zone designated commercial, and in yellow land designated for residential development. Zoning bylaw is more detailed than the plan. So again, the current zoning is highway commercial zone. So on the left, you have all the uses that are permitted as of today on this property. So there is a wide range of uses that deal with cars, if you want, with for example, car dealers. A lot of business. And to the right, you have the zoning permitted use in the light industrial zone. So the applicant, so the owner of the property is Red Rock Properties. It's a company, they are located in Toronto. They did purchase the property in January 2024, but Red Rock Property is the parent company of Black & McDonald. So if you are familiar with that company has been in existence since 1921. They have more than 5,500 employees in over 40 offices in Canada, in the States and abroad. And also they own several subsidiaries. On their website, the company described as a multi-trade contractor that's deliver electrical, mechanical, and utility construction and maintenance solution. So their field of business is a lot of electrical type of work. They have been in operation in Bathurst for 12 years in the former Mario Metal. Their current location is close to a school, daycare, center and home, and doesn't appear to have been an issue in the past in terms of coexistence. The building today at this location includes office and storage space for tools and electrical part, but also they are using containers for extra storage space, as you can see again on the air photo on the slides. The other company involved, it's Black & McDonald. Black & McDonald, they recently acquired Power Precision. Power Precision is presently located in the Industrial Park. They are specialized in the refurbishment of electrical transformer, and also they manufacture of specialized equipment, including what they call e-house, that are used as electrical substation for wind energy to other renewable projects. So You see one of the picture, you see those type of building structure, they call the E-house. So they are, we could say they are containers, but they put in those container or these structure high-tech equipment. And after that, they sell those units as a substation for various projects. And you have a bird-eye view of the existing facilities in the industrial park and a street view. So it gives you an idea of what kind of business, what they look like today. So the rezoning request is only to rezone a portion of the property. So basically, you see in yellow, this is the area that will be rezoned. So it covers about 3 acres, and the balance in red will remain highway commercial. So about 8,200 square meters will remain as is. Before submitting the rezoning application, Power Precision, when they were still there, they did apply and obtain a temporary permission from the PAC, Planning Advisory Committee, in September 23 to use the property for a fabrication shop. Power Precision specializes in the fabrication and retrofitting of electrical equipment. So they did obtain a temporary permit from the Planning Advisory to relocate at this location. At that time, the Planning Committee did receive 2 objections from property owners, one on Brideau Street and the other one on Miramichi Avenue. And the temporary permission was extended to Black and McDonald after they purchased Power Precision. So the temporary permission was extended to them in January 2024 with the same condition. So you have a view here of the area that will be subject to the rezoning. In the rezoning report, we do review the impact, what we think would be an impact, an issue to address. So that building, the building has been on the property since 1980. They plan to do some aesthetic improvement that will on the 3 facades of the building. So on the right, you have both views, the past, the former owner, Bayside Nissan, and on the right or underneath what they intend to do. So there will be no major change to the building. In fact, they will remove some garage door and they will put some signage on the front, but basically the aesthetic or the will be about the same. We think that the visual footprint of the new facility should be reduced with the disappearance of the parking lot of the former car dealership. Of course, if you recall, the dealership, they have a lot of cars parked in the front for display. So this is no longer the case. So we think that the visual footprint for that will be much reduced. They also mentioned that the bulk of their activities will take place indoor. So they will do most of their work inside the building. But as I mentioned earlier, those e-house, they will be kept outside, and the technician will work inside those container or those units. But they will be located outside, but they will do the work inside those units, because they can't put them inside the building, so they have to work outside. But what they tell us is that for the rest, everything else will be done inside the building behind closed door. Visual impact also, that the company, they intend to use containers to store tools and equipment as they do at their current facilities, if you recall the first pictures. And also they have 54-foot trailers that they use as mobile office. These equipment may have a certain visual impact on the neighboring properties, but that being said, the former car dealership also used several containers for storage. So you have view when Nissan was there, and as you can see behind the dealership, they had for years, they had many containers there for extra storage. This is becoming a common practice. But the number of containers could be specified in the conditions attached to the rezoning. Also, it will be reasonable to request that those containers be placed on the side parcel where, as they are shown right now, behind or on the side, if you want, of the facility. And also, the applicant has indicated that the company could erect a fence along the properties if this was going to become an issue. And perhaps I forgot to mention, but again, the neighboring property, Armor Transport, also they have a lot of containers or semi-trailers. So this is not going to detract from the area, those few trailers that they want to add for their business. For traffic, so the new business is expected to generate a lower level of traffic than the former car dealership. The site is more than large enough to provide sufficient parking space for employees and customers. Most of the land to be rezoned is already asphalt, and the loading and unloading area will have to comply with the zoning bylaw standards already in place. About noise, vibration, so again, the building is divided in two parts. The front part is the administration, so this is not an issue for the noise, but the former garage will be replaced by manufacturing and assembly workshop, so we call them workshop. For us, the noise and the vibration should be similar to, if not less, than those produced by the former car dealership, which use percussion and compressed air tools to carry out mechanical work. So you know how those type of garage they operate, they have very noisy tools. So, but this is not the type of tool that this company, this enterprise will use. So we think that the noise and the vibration could be less than the past. Again, they state that all the activities will be inside the building, and that noise and vibration will have no impact on the nearby residential properties. And the conditions attached to the rezoning could mention that the doors must remain closed when noisy work is being carried out in the workshop. So you also have a floor plan showing the area that will be used for office in the front, and in the back you can see how it will be divided for workshop. Also about noise, this business may, there may be some truck traffic and deliveries, delivery vehicle linked to this project. So of course they are likely to generate a certain level of noise, but again, the noise level should be similar to and compatible with other commercial and industrial use on the neighboring properties, and also with the use permitted in the highway commercial zone under the current zoning. So if you recall, the zoning bylaw permit a wide range of highway commercial business, and we feel that in terms of traffic, it will be similar to the type of traffic that will be generated by those type of business already permitted. The loading, unloading, and handling of good and heavy or metal equipment could also generate a certain level of noise. Forklift also, they generate some noise, and also the vehicle that are equipped or fit with audible reversing device that may make some noise. About fume, dust, and odors, the floor plan mentioned the presence of a paint booth, some welding, and some sanding equipment. So those equipment, they must be fit with the filters required to treat the fumes, dust, and odors that may be generated. The applicant has indicated that any equipment or machinery likely to produce fumes, dust, and others will have to comply with the emission standards prescribed by the province or by their manufacturers. So they may be required to get some provincial approval for those equipment. And for storage, indoor and outdoor, they state that only containers, trailers, and e-house will be stored outside. And the air photo of the existing facilities in Bathurst show no evidence of outdoor storage. And we already have zoning standards in the bylaw that states that any outdoor storage area must be concealed from public view unless approved by the Planning Advisory Committee. So if they intend to do outside storage at this location, they will need to get approval from the Planning Advisory Committee. So the new proposed zoning, so we have to amend both the municipal plan and the zoning bylaw. So for the municipal plan, the designation, the designation will change from commercial to industrial, and the balance will remain commercial. And for the zoning bylaw, the zoning will change from highway commercial to light industrial. And on the right, again, you have the listing of the use permitted in the light industrial zones. So this rezoning will be done under the provision of Section 59 of the Act. So it's a conditional rezoning. So council, as you did in the past, you may impose, you may impose the conditions that you think are deemed are necessary. But already we are proposing the following conditions. But if you think that more condition or other condition could be added, this is why I'm here tonight, to get your input at the very beginning of the rezoning process. But the conditions that we recommend at this time, so we recommend that the number of should be containers. The number of containers that will be permitted on the site should be, we should put a number. We recommend that the condition ask that those containers be placed on the side, in the side yard between the building and armored transportation, except for equipment to be installed in the e-house store outside. All other work and activities carried out by the company must be done inside the building. Building doors must be completely closed when noisy work is being carried out indoors. For sure, all provision of the zoning bylaw continue to apply, and no exterior lighting shall be projected or spill over onto neighboring properties. So these are the first conditions that we foresee. Of course, they will be reviewed by the PAC at the next meeting, and PAC could make more other recommendation. And again, at the very end, it's up to council to decide what condition will apply to this project. In terms of process, so tonight is a committee of the whole, so we introduce the project to council. But if you decide to proceed, next week on March the 18th, council could pass a motion to initiate the amendment to the municipal plan and seek the view of the Planning Advisory Committee. So that's the first step, is to go to before PAC to get their input and come back to you. And after that, we'll follow up with the process.
All right, so we have a couple of questions. Conseiller Leblanc.
Merci, Madame la mairesse. Merci, Monsieur Bouffard. Belle présentation, encore une fois. Pour moi, ça semble pas mal clair, là. Vous avez couvert les points qui m'inquiétaient un peu, j'avais lu auparavant. Seule chose que j'ajouterais à ça, je ne le mettrais peut-être pas comme condition, là, mais sérieux, s'ils voudraient être des bons citoyens corporatifs, là, faire une belle clôture, juste pour garder la valeur des maisons en arrière, là, C'est vrai. Même l'autre à côté, la business qui est à côté, là, Armand.
Comme je l'ai mentionné dans mon rapport, ils m'ont mentionné si
Ouais.
ça prend ça,
Moi,
on va
moi,
le
je
faire.
pense que ça
On
serait
peut
une-
le mettre comme une condition, puis ils vont je suis certain qu'ils vont.
Ça serait un maudit beau geste de leur part, mettons.
On va discuter ça avec eux autres.
C'est juste ça que vous l'ajoutez.
Merci. Councillor Knowles?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I'd just like to speak about the two companies that we're talking about. Black & McDonald, I worked for that company out in Western Canada a couple of times. They're a good company, and they've been in Bathurst for quite a few years, and I don't think there's any complaints with them. They're very professional. Same with Power and Precision. They employ local people, and I think it's great that the building is going to be occupied and employ local people. I see minimal impact on the neighborhood. The type of work they do, it'll be probably less noise.
That's what we feel.
And they'll do it right. That's my opinion on it. I think it's a good thing. We don't need another empty building.
I
That's
agree.
my 2 cents.
All right. So, and they've been there for what, a little over 6 months already, right?
Right now, no, not yet. They are doing
Yeah.
renovation
Okay.
right now. They did.
Okay, so they started renovation in the building.
In January, they got a permit based on the temporary permit they got from the Planning Advisory Committee.
Okay.
So they are doing, but they said the work is minimum, but they are aware that the property has to be rezoned, but they got the permission to do the work and to move. But one condition was to apply for the rezoning as soon as possible. So this is where we are tonight.
All right, so council, do we give direction to move forward? To bring this on March 18th? And then I think what will be important is after that, once it's brought to PAC with the recommendations, we will get a calendar with the dates ahead of time, like we did the last time. We will have our dates, and what will be really important for council is that sometimes, even though we have a presentation, we come up with ideas or questions and the meeting's already done. By all means, nothing stops you from sending an email to Mr. Bouffard and ask. Right? We don't have to wait to come back to a public meeting. An email can be sent, and that can be brought to the public meeting afterwards with the question that's brought to council, from
If I may-
council to public.
If I may
Yeah.
just, on the calendar, we have a calendar done, but
Oh,
again,
Encore
March
mieux.
18 is a public presentation, and the day after, the clerk will put the public notice on the website. And there will be a public meeting on April the 2nd, when I will make about the same presentation, but officially, it's a requirement under the Act, so I have to make a public presentation. So tonight is Committee of the Whole, but we'll do a presentation on April the 2nd, and after that, the people will have 30 days to send their comments, their objections, or their support. And so they will, on May the 6th, Council will review those objections, and they will decide to proceed with the second phase, that is to go with the rezoning. Right now, phase 1 is an amendment to the municipal plan. So there will be a consultation process to amend the municipal plan. When this is done, there will be no hearing on April the 2nd, but not on May the 6th, but council will have letters with them, and if they want, at that time, you will make a decision to continue with the rezoning process. So it's done in 2 phases, 2 steps.
All right.
But again, April 2nd, after Easter, there will be another public presentation.
Okay. We okay with that? Perfect. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Bouffard. On sait que il y a beaucoup de travail qui est mis là-dedans. All right, policies. Policy P2024-02, Policy and Procedures, Development Policy. Ms. Parker.
So during the policy review exercise performed during the past year, where you've seen quite a few come to council, where we've added or changed something or repealed one, staff found that there was a need to standardize policies and to establish a review cycle. For that reason, staff are recommending that the implementation of the policy and procedure development policy is approved. So if you are in agreement with it, we would bring it to the next public meeting, which would be next week.
All right. Do you have any questions? Good. All right. P2024-05, Bathurst Sports Hall of Fame Policy.
Again, this was one of the policies that kind of got flagged during the cleanup. Really just some minor changes to make it flow a little bit better, make it more user-friendly. The existing policy was standardized, and the forms were also kind of made a little bit user-friendly too.
All right. Okay, good with that? Okay, moving on. City Clerk, 5.1, Deputy Mayor.
So Deputy Mayor Anderson has submitted her resignation as Deputy Mayor, effective March 31st, 2024. This means that we will need to initiate the process of appointing a replacement for her. The role of Deputy Mayor is essential. It fulfills the duties of the Mayor when she is unavailable. As usual, during our normal June re-election, if you want to call it, of Deputy Mayor, you can either nominate yourself or you can nominate somebody else. You can do it tonight, or you can send me an email prior to the next meeting, which is next week. At that time, if we have more than one name, we will have to do a private voting where we hand you a little ballot, you vote on it, and then that will decide what gets read in the resolution to appoint a new deputy mayor. Another thing we will need direction is if you would like to end the term on June 2024 as normal, or if you would like to extend it until June 2025.
Because in June of 2024, we were automatically switching over to Deputy Mayor. It was in June of every year. So we were doing it in June. So this is a replacement for a few months. So I'll leave that up to you guys, and then you can, Conseil Leblanc?
Oh, I was just asking if we were deciding that tonight or
No.
not. Okay. So
No.
okay.
That we can bring back. You can send an email. You can follow through. Just information.
I will need to know what term is, though.
Yeah.
Because it needs to be in the resolution.
For next Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, wouldn't it be?
It would be ideal to do it tonight.
Yeah, wouldn't it be simple? I mean, we want it to go till 2025, right? We're not going to redo this again in June. Be logic to me. Anyone disagree?
You okay with that? Okay. So whoever replaced stays until June 2025. Okay. That answers your questions. All right. And then Daly Point Nature Reserve update by Councillor LeBlanc. I'm giving you the mic, Mr. LeBlanc.
Well, thank you very much. Now let me find my my update, which I sent to Amy Lynn and myself. Probably should have had that ready beforehand. We were a little busy.
Yep.
There we go. Yeah. All right. Give it time to open. All right. So I want to give a brief update, of course, of Daly Point, the work and the activities that are being done right now and that have been done lately. So first of all, well, thank you, Mayor and Council, for listening to me and the citizens of our wonderful city. These are activities that have been held since last fall, so September 23 to the end of January 24 when we had our meeting. So some of the activities that happened were in September. On September 30th, we had a foraging activity, which we had 31 people attend, or I should say, Bob Ross Night. They've had multiple Bob Ross Nights, which are quite popular in October, December, and January. Daly Point's also had a wellness activity on November 19th. They've had drawing and coloring for visiting children, and that's ongoing. Usage of microscopes, which is ongoing and I hear quite popular for the children. Haunted trails that they had on October 28th. Now listen to this. They had over 300 people show up to the haunted trails. Isn't that phenomenal? They had a Halloween walk, a college student walk, Santa Paws, crochets and knitting group meetups, which I believe they still do. They had 5 school visits in that time also, Terry Fox, ESN, Domaine Étudiant, BHS, and CCNB. Right now they have 4 activities planned for 2024, with multiple activities being planned as we speak. The planned activities that are already planned, of course, are the upcoming Easter egg hunt, school visits, foraging sessions, Bob Ross Nights, as I mentioned earlier, and full moon walks. There'll be some maintenance done on some lookouts and thank you, the gentleman sitting over there, Ryan Wilbur, who helps a heck of a lot with this. These lookouts they're expensive to upkeep, but they're beautiful, right? I know my fellow councillor next to me here goes there sometimes, and I'm sure he uses them. So there will be wood chipping of trails once the ground is dry. Obviously, it's a little difficult to do that right now, especially right now. So I urge our citizens and non-citizens to go see the Daily Point Facebook page to keep up to date with all the phenomenal activities that are coming. And I really want to thank all the members of the committee, including our city representatives and especially our coordinator, Lisa Noel. They've been doing an outstanding job with very limited resources. So I'm looking forward to giving you the next update in next quarter. But that is it for my Daily Point update.
Perfect. I was actually there a couple of weeks ago, myself and Mr. Pettigrew, and I did not know that you just give a donation and you can borrow the snowshoeing. So you can go snowshoeing in the trails. They have them all there, and you give what you want or what you can afford, and you can go as a family or individually. So no, it's beautiful. It's I won't say what else we were showing anyway. They did a game, and anyway, so I fouled ball. I wasn't good at it, but anyway. So if you have an opportunity, do take the time to go. It's a beautiful place. Bon, ben, ceci pour ce soir. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everybody. We will ask council. We'll take a quick 5-minute break, and we go straight to in camera.
Thank you.
Merci. Bonne soirée à vous tous.